Hey guys, Abraham here. I just wanted to remind you guys that we upload all of our courses to Skillshare. Skillshare is this amazing site where you can access a ton of different content to learn, improve, and grow as an artist. We have all of our courses available to watch and learn from right now in Skillshare. You can check the description down here, and Skillshare is offering 1 free month trial to their premium membership. With this membership, you're going to be able to access all of our courses and watch and learn all of the amazing things that we cover with all of the softwares. So, what are you waiting for? Check Skillshare down here below.
Hey guys, and welcome to the second chapter of this course. In this chapter, we're going to make a texture for this asset. And as you can see, it has some layers to it. I added material to the different layers and different parts. And the materials should like something like this. Material, get from selected, and each material has a different name corresponding to different part of the model. So we have a model ready, layers, materials, and the materials are the selection group, and the materials should act as selection group inside Mari. So let's take a look at the actual UV. I'm using UDIM or UDIM. I'll grab UVW. Let's check the UV, open UV editor, and this is my UV layout. So as you can see here, this is horn and the box, I guess, and the holder and drummer, disc, and other kind of stuff. All right, now let me delete this, and I already exported the asset, so I don't need to export it again. So let me close up the max, and we need to have some sort of source. So for example, I created a disk pattern. Let me show you here. Disk pattern for the actual disk, and scratches on a disk and other good stuff. And also we need to have a wooden material. So I created the wooden material inside Substance Painter. I'm not made the material. This is it preset. So when I exported it, it's going to be look like this, and it has all the channel, or exported all the channel for us. So I might include this inside the project folder, or now let me show you how I did it. You can download this arrangement from any other sites, or maybe free sites. And this material is looking something like this here. Layers, let me put that up. All right, just open the sample, and sample name should be plant tiled or something like this. And when you drag and drop a material, and the plant is going to be repeated and ready to go. Just export the material, and should be look like, where is it? Did I close it? Oh, here. Look like this. A base color, height, metal, normal, and roughness. All right. Let's open up the Mari. And your Mari should look like this if you open it for the first time. And to start a project, just need to click on create new project or file new project, and as you can see we have two sample projects sitting there ready to test some texture out. And this tab, it's project tab, and all the projects will be stored here. All right, now let's click on the create new project. A window pops up. Let me give it a name. I'm lazy, so let's copy and paste the name. And as you can see, we are in geometry tab. So let's load our geometry. This is the path to the geometry. So let's go to here. All right, now I have two versions. Gramophone single materials for baking mesh maps out of Subs Painter, and also Gramophone with the layers. Oh, now we added, let me show you the mesh maps also here. And let me open up the Painter again and show you the process. So here, let me open the baked mesh maps. Where is it? Here, yeah. And all the mesh maps are sitting there. If you wanted to check this out, you need to only hit B key and cycle through baked mesh maps, ID, window occlusion, curvature, position, word position, and thickness, and height, and new bent, normal, opacity, and all the good stuff. All right, let's go to the baked, and let me show you the setting. Output size 2048, and use low poly mesh as high poly because we don't have the high poly, and sampling anti-aliasing 4x4, and also inside ID I did change the color source to mesh ID or polygroups. Occlusion, I just changed the self occlusion to mesh name, and also inside the curvature only say mesh name, and I leave all of other mesh maps with the default setting and hit baked mesh maps. Also inside the export texture dialog, I made the duplicate out of mesh maps output template and change all of this to the thief and delete these three new maps because we don't need that. So this is the process to bake mesh maps. And yep, I use Substance 3D Painter. You can use any other software for baking. All right, now let's click on, select the Gramophone FBX, open that up. As you can see, all the layers here showing up. All right, now mapping shim, I used UV if available, or PTEX. We don't have PTEX. We have UV, so let Marie use the UV layout. And mesh type, single mesh. I wanted Mari to load my mesh as a single mesh, so I'm gonna leave that. And selection group, create from face groups here. It's going to create a selection groups from my layers. So here, And inside channels here, we can um, uh, set a cache directory or leave it as it is, the default settings. And also we have shaders. I'm gonna use Principal BRDF, non-metallic VFX, or maybe because we have metallic. Let me see here. Principal BRDF, metallic VFX. All right, now as you can see, we have all kind of shaders here. For example, Arnold standard surface VFX or V-Ray MTL. So. And below that, as you can see, we have base colored, metallic, and roughness and bump checked out. All right, now let's go to next tab. We don't need to change anything here. This settings depends on your project and on your workflow in your studio or something. And if you want, you can change the color profiles to anything such as ACES or SPI VFX or custom even. I guess we can load, yeah, we can load our custom OCIO config. It's going to be something like, if I have, let me go to folder. Oh yeah, I have color open color OCI. And as you can see, we have ACES, all the versions, Nuke and SPI, SPI VFX, and all that good stuff. So let me switch back to Nuke, the default setting. All right, now in the next tab, we can load our own environment map, HDRI, or use the provided HDRIs here inside Mari. For this particular project, I'm going to use environments that ships with the Mari, and I guess this studio look like, I guess the kitchen might not bad. We can change that, so let's pick that. And lighting a full shader, current shader, and I guess we're good to go. And yeah, now just hit the create new project and wait for Mari to create your project. It's going to take a while, depends on your machine. So I'm gonna stop the video and come back. All right, our project is loaded finally, and it's ready to go. As you can see, it's a little bit weird. So what's happening is we are in orthographic camera view, and you can switch to perspective by hitting this tab. And if your model, just like mine, it's suddenly disappeared, you can go to camera and reset the camera and bring it back. So, and the gizmo down here is bothering me, so let's fix that. Right click, display property, grid, and uncheck the visible. Yep, that's right, it's gone. And also I can see the background from HDRI Lighting, so let's get rid of that also. Simply from this right panel, let's go to, where is it, the lights. If I click the lights and go away, it's going to disappear. So you have two options, drag and drop it somewhere else, or just make it float. And also you can pin that for now. Let me drag this down, and as you can see, we have 4 lights. No, let me expand this. All right. Yeah, we have 4 point lights or omni lights, or maybe directional, whatever. So you can make it on or off. Let me make them off. All right, now we just lighting with our HDRI lighting. So let's go to environment HDRI and open up its channels. First channel, it's intensity. It says color, but it's intensity. And if I increase the intensity, as you can see, we have more lights in our scene. Let me switch back to 1. General, we have fixed to scene or fixed to camera. And if I change that to fixed to camera, no matter the rotation, the lights always be fixed. All right, now let's go and change that to scene. And texture, you can blur the background down here or change the resolution. It's going to affect your performance, so be careful. And also the background show and hide. Yep, that's looking better. So, and also up X, Y, Z, change the up rotation of the up axis, the lights. So yeah, and also we have ability to change the light here. Let me switch to this studio. I guess that's much better. Yeah, it's good. And texture animation. Let me unhide the HDRI and make the texture to be rotated and change the speed. And it's going to be rotate. It's a little bit annoying, but for the look dev at the last maybe step of texturing, it's not that bad deal. So let me switch back to a static and hide that and bring back all of the lights. All right, that's good. Now let me close the panel. All right. And the only thing left to do is loading our textures. As you might remember, we have some mesh maps that I'm not gonna load them here. Just the wood texture and disk pattern. All right. You have 2 options to load the textures inside Image Manager. Here, Image Manager. Down here, you have Open Image. So let me go to Mari Beginners, and here, let me load the disk pattern. And inside the loading dialog, you have option to change the color space. I'm gonna leave that as it is and open that up, and it's going to show up inside project. All right. The other way is to select your texture, drag and drop it inside the panel. I guess we need to have this height as well to act as a bump, and also this roughness. And yeah, that's it. We have our textures loaded, our model and project set, and let's save. Hit a Ctrl S or quick save, and we are ready to start texturing our first asset. So in the next part, I'm going to work on the bump and create the bump from ground up. All right, see you in the next part. Welcome back. Let's continue by making the height or bump, as you may saw. All right, now let me grab some of these layers and change the location. Maybe base layer, base color. Let me grab and put it here. All right, now let me grab the channels. Here, and yeah, that's good. Put it up there. And also let me close the shader, objects, and just keep the image manager here. We don't need to paint, so let me close that up. Also shelf, and yeah, we are good to go. Fantastic. All right, now let's start by just showing the current shader. Let me switch to a bump channel, and we need to just see the bump channel in order to make the channel more efficiently. So let me hold I, and this is the quick access panel, and let me go to current channel, bump, and let go. And as you can see, we have nothing, whole lot of nothing. So we need to have a base. So for the height base, you need to have a 0.5 color added to your whole mesh. So how to add a color? Simply press tab, search, right click. Sorry, right click is for node base. So I'm a little bit confused because nobody uses the layer base anymore, but you need to know layer base. Maybe you'll be more comfortable using layer base. I don't know. So I need to show you both ways. So in order to add a base color or your a solid color to your whole mesh, you have two options. Hit tab, search for color, or down here, add procedural layer, click basic color. All right, now as you can see, a white color just added to the whole scene. So we don't need that. Click on the color input, go to gray, and create a 50% gray for the bump channel. Remember, we are in bump channel here in channel area, and inside the bump we have a color layer. If I click on the here in layer icon, I can open up the other channels layer. As you can see, it's going to disappear at the moment I let go and move the mouse. And let me pin that out. All right, now I have both base color, Gramophone merged, both base color and layer bump open at the same time. So let me close that and click the bump again. We are in bump layer, and we need to add our bumps to the mesh. So first of all, you need to add folders to work more organized. So let me add a group layer on top of the color, And let me show you something. If I select the color layer and create a group, it's going to put the color inside the group. Let me go back, delete this. All right. Now, if I click anywhere else and create a group, it's going to create a group in the separate layers. So we need that. So first of all, let's add a mask for this wooden part down here. How do I do that, you ask? You need to go to your selection groups here. And as you may remember, I add different materials to the different parts. So as you can see, wood case material. This is the mesh name. This is the material name. Those are the same. So let's select that. And hover over the group, right click, layer mask, add mask from selection. All right, now it's going to make a mask here, mask icon, just added beside the layer icon. And if I put a color inside the group, as you can see, the color just added to the wooden part. All right. Now, as you can see, the wooden part material contains these metallic parts as well. So I don't need that. So let's right click on the group and go to layer mask, remove the mask. All right. Now we need to select the wooden parts. So let's go to selection here. As you can see, if I select the selection tool or S, it's going to select our, where is it? The selection here, wooden case. Let's click in the canvas to deselect that. Go down here to the selection. Let me hover over that to the set selection mode and use patch mode. All right. Now, if I select a patch or UV island, Marie, it's going to select the whole patch for us. And if I up here switch to, let me switch to face mode first and switch to a smart selection, double click, it's going to select the whole patch. It's selecting this part, but because of that white color, we can see that. All right, now let me disable that, and yeah, now we can see our selection. Now let me hold shift and select this bits, and I guess that's it. We covered that whole wooden part. Now let's go right click on the group, same as before, layer mask, and from selection. All right, now if I enable the color again, as you can see, it just added to the wooden parts. So let's delete the color, select the group, and now we need to put our, where is it, the height here, the height texture. If I double click on the height or any other textures inside image manager, it's going to open that up, and you have the ability to change the color space, maybe linear. All right, in this case, linear is the good choice, and also raw data. All right, now let's close that up. And in order to add a textures to the scene, we have two options. We can project the textures or uh, make a tile or project automatically. How do I do that, you asked? You can hit tab, type tiled, or go to the base procedural icon down here in the middle and projection, triplanar projection, and all kinds of good stuff. But the best way is to use tab and type tiled. All right, now let's grab the tile, put it inside the group. Let's change this group name to wood. All right, select the tile, and as you can see, tile contains a input image. It's asking for input image to make a tile. So let's give it the image. Drag and drop your bump and put it here. All right, now as you can see, we successfully added a bump and tiled that to the mesh. All right, now if I zoom really close and here, all right, you can see the UV sims. So let me disable this one. All right, this time let's hit tab or maybe click here, projection, and triplanar projection. Sorry, drag and drop it inside wood, and let me expand this setting. As you can see, it's asking for three textures: front, top, and right. All right, and let's give that a texture. Drag and drop, drop, and drop. Now, as you can see, our UV sim problem, it's solved. And the only thing it's missing in this area, we have our textures in the wrong orientation. So let me find the top view here and top angle. Let me make it 90 degree. All right, now as you can see, it solved the problem. Let me see other places. That's not bad. All right, good. All right, let me get rid of this shininess by going to Roughness, Channel, and up here, now it's going to create another channel. So inside Roughness channel, as you can see, the bomb channel contains some layers, but the Roughness channels, it's a whole nothing. So let me add a basic color, a white color to the scene. All right, now inside the base color, let's go and delete this and add a base color of 50% gray, and let's go back to bump. All right, now let's see our new creation inside with the shader with BRDF principles. So let's hold I, go to shaders. We are seeing current channel bump. So let's change that to principal BRDF. Let go. Wait, and as you can see, the whole shader is loaded. We have a little bit of bump going on. So I guess we need to switch the bump with the here the roughness value, because roughness is a little bit stronger. Or maybe on top of the triplanar, let's add a adjustment layer. So hold I, switch back to current channel bump. All right, now here we have a here adjustment layer or adjustment stack. What's the difference? If you click on adjustment layer, it's going to provide you a bunch of adjustment filters or layers, and you can use them and nothing can stop you. For example, click level, and it's going to add a level layer on top of the layers, just like Photoshop, and you have ability to change the levels. As you can see, I can't change the level just like that, but it's going to make the layers really busy and messy. So the best way is to create a adjustment layer and add that just to the triplanar. Here, adjustment stack, maybe the level. It's going to make a adjustment layer, and if you click that, it's going to open up just like any other panels. Let me pin that here. All right, now inside the adjustment stack you have all of the layers available for you, and you can add another maybe HSV on top of the level, combine them together just like Photoshop, and it's going to be just inside the triplanar layer. So let me go on adjustment layer. Where is it? The adjustment layer. Let's right click on the layer and adjustment stack, remove adjustment stack. All right, now let's try the roughness value. Let me open that up. Raw data, yeah, that's better. All right, now just replace the bump map. Where is it? Here with the roughness map. And yeah, it's not too bad. Let me see the tile one more time. Here. And maybe with this V offset, vertical offset, you can achieve better results. Yeah, I guess that's better. So we can hide this seams with the painting or just by using the baked mesh map. So let me select this triplanar and delete that because we don't need that anymore. So all right, now let's hit hold I and go to Principled BRD shader and open up the shaders. Let me move that here to see more clearly and expand that. As you can see inside, we're going. All right, as you can see here, we have base colored, metallic roughness and bump. Down here we have control over the bump weight. So add more bump to the surface. We move that like so. All right, now as you can see, we have some bump going on here. I'm gonna leave that on 0.4 for now. All right, close that up. And let's continue in the next part and add more bump value to the other faces. All right, now see you in next part. All right, let's continue. And now we need to exit the shader. So hold I and go to channel bump. All right. Now let's add a little bit more variation bump. So to do this, we can add a basic color, just like before, the base here, the base color or base bump, 50% gray. Go to basic, procedural basic color, put that on top of the tiled on top. All right, go up. It's not going up, so let me go grab this, and yeah, they both out of groups. So all right, we have the white color covering that up, and white means bump, outward bump. So let me select that, go to gray value tab, and maybe grab this color. All right, now we need to add a mask to the color. So here, down here, here we have a mask layer or mask stack, just like the adjustment layer and adjustment stack. If I click mask layer, it's going to mask the layer, but based on a color or maybe based on a selection. So let me delete that, remove mask. I need to have a mask layer, so click on mask stack. It's going to create a mask stack for me, and I'm going to click that, pin, or maybe grab it, put it here, expand that, and on top of the color mask, I'm gonna go to procedural. Here inside the procedurals, I'm going to add maybe a cloud or maybe wood. Let me add wood, a black and white wood. And as you can see, no, you can't see just because it's really subtle. You can see the bump tiled here, but not other places. So let's delete that. Let's go and add a procedural and cloud. All right. Now, as you can see, we have some cloud going on. I guess that can achieve with just cloud. Let me disable the color. All right. Go to the procedural and fractal cloud. Yeah, kinda. Go to color A setting, gray, grab the same setting, and inside here, up on top of the bump layer, as you can see, we have a blending option. Select the cloud, go to darken, multiply, And you can see we are multiply the cloud with the tile. It's going to skip this disabled layer. Let me select the cloud. Up here we have opacity, just like Photoshop layout. So let me grab the opacity and drop it down a little bit, just like that. All right. I like the other version a little bit more. So let me enable that and delete the cloud. Drop the opacity for this layer also. Let's go to mask stack. We have cloud here and change the size. And also roughness. Roughness in here means sharpness. So keep that in mind. We have option over opacity, offset, size, roughness, and all of that good stuff. Also, we have the same opacity setting also here. Here, can change the opacity inside the mask stack as well. So, all right, now let's go to maybe this metallic parts. Let me close this wooden. Create another group. Maybe call that gold or golden light, because it's not gold. It's I guess it's brass or something, but yeah, whatever. So select the gold and let me go to selection here. Select this one, hold shift, select the metals, just like so. And maybe this stand holder, or I don't know what that called. So select that as well, and also all the bolts. Let me see what else we have that looks like golden-ish. Maybe also this part. All right, now same as before, right click on your folder, layer mask, and add layer mask from selection. All right. Now let's go to golden mask. For test, let's add a color. Deselect, and as you can see, we are inside the gold folder and controlling the bump for the actual gold. So because this base color, let me change the name to base bump. Because this base bump is outside of any folder, it's going to act as base for all the folders. So we don't need to have a base layer for each folder. So to add a base, or to add a bump to the metals, we only need a simple noise. So let's go and select the gold here in procedural. If I hover over this, it's going to say to us add layer procedural. So let's go to maybe projection, now procedurals. Marble noise, silver, perlin. Yeah, I guess perlin, or this down here. Let me choose this one. And decrease the size. No, that's not good. Let's delete that. Let's choose Perlin. Drop the size. All right, that's good. And also, let's select the folder, darken, multiply, drop the opacity, just like so. We're looking for a subtle looking, and it's getting there. So yeah, that's not bad. Let's hit save and hold I, go to Principal BRDIF shader and see the result in shader level. So as you can see, it's not bad. We have a little bit of bump. We go to Perlin here now, the gold, and add more opacity. And as you can see, we have more bumps going on here. All right, that's good. Hold I, switch back to current channel bump. All right, now, good. And the other, where is it? The other metallic parts also need some bumps. Why not? Let's create a folder. Call that, I don't know, other metallic parts. All right. Now let's make a selection and add a mask to this folder. So we are in a selection tool. We are in face mode and also in the smart selection. So let's select maybe this part. Hold shift and select the whole elbow, and maybe also this thing and this handle. All right, right click, add a layer mask from selection. All right, that's good. Now let's go and for this part also let's add a noise. So go to procedural, maybe oil. Let's see the result. It's not bad. It's projecting really good. All right, now let's change some settings. Maybe size a little bit. Orientation and roughness. And also opacity to be something like this. Also, let's copy this pair link by right-clicking on that. Copy and paste. And just multiply the pair link to the oil. And add more size. Little bit more oiliness. All right, Let's check that out by holding I. Switch to Principal BRDF shader and see that on shader level. Let me see what we did so far. All right. A little bit more oiliness, more purlin, and a little bit less size. Less size and less opacity. All right, something like this. And this one also needs to have more scale. All right. We see this drumming thing, and yes, good. All right, let's go back to current channel bump. Hit Ctrl S to save. All right, now for the actual horn, let me create another folder, call that horn, and you know the drill. Select the horn, and because it's on smart selection, it's going to select the whole face attached to the face that attached together, or it's going to select the same shapes that connected together. Yeah, that's better. And if I not selecting the smart selection, it's just going to select the face that I'm hovering or selecting, just like so. Doesn't matter the selection type. All right, now for this kind of stuff, we need to select it by smart selection. Hold Shift, select this dividers also. All right, now we selected that, right click, layer mask, add from selection. All right, now let's select the horn folder. For this one, let's add a maybe I don't know. Maybe same oil. It's not a bad idea. Let's check the cell. Let me see up close. Change the cell type. Maybe that's not too bad. Let me drop the opacity a little bit. Yes, like so. And switch to shader. Add more opacity. Yeah, maybe the oil is a better solution. So oh, I did change the What happened? Oh, I did add another folder. So let me go back. All right, now, good. Let's add a procedural oil to the horn. All right. Let me change the opacity in shader level, something like this, and hold I, go back to current channel, not layer, current channel bump, and change the size a little bit, something like this, and yeah, it's good. You're almost done. Let's add bump to the disc and this plastic holder thing and call it a day. So let's see you in the next part. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna add some bump to the disk. So let's select a folder, call that disk. All right, now select the folder just like we did before. Select the disk and add a layer mask to the selection. All right, now we need to just paint the texture. Did I not import the texture? Right, let's import that again. Disk plate, this time color space, change that to linear and open that up. Here, maybe raw data. Yeah, raw data. All right, now, because we don't have access to the disk, we need to go to maybe ortho/UV view. Let's select that. Here we can see our model in orthographic camera, also in UV view. So this is our disk, and we need to project only here. Let's test the tiled first. So here, procedural, pattern tiled. All right. Drag and drop that to the tile, and as you can see, it's going to project all over. So it's not that ideal. And the best way to do this, let me show another way to import a texture to the layer, and that would be right clicking and import into the new layer or current layer. This is our current layer, so it's going to change the layer. So also you can right click here in empty places, import into the new layer, and then we go to here and just clear this name to see your textures. So yeah, color space raw automatically, and import selected patches. All right, now it's going to import a texture call that layer, but this is not what we want, so it's going to put that wherever it wants. So let me delete that as well. Let's go here. Now let's switch to another tool called Paint Through Image. So select the tool, grab your texture and drag it inside your viewport. And it's going to load your image inside viewport. You can hold Control, rotate, all right, and also hold Shift for move and Control Shift and left click for scaling. And as you can see, I just scaled my texture, and let's move that over here. And another hotkey that can be useful is Shift and minus and plus button. As you can see, I can see my patch now. So let's match the texture. Maybe rotate that a little bit. All right. Make it a little bit bigger. And maybe here. And I just remembered I didn't show you the process for creating this texture. Let me hit save and open up the Substance Designer. Here inside Substance Designer, I did connect a linear gradient linear 2, tile that 35 times, connect that to shape mapper. Shape mode, it's a circular, and it's going to be every shape that you connected to the input, it's going to be circular. So here, and also I added a little bit of warp with the Perlin noise. Add that to the blend and subtract this texture, the grunge concrete, out of this with this opacity. Also another subtract this grunge to take a bunch of dents and add a bunch of dents to the lines, and also height blend that to a 50% gray and export that over here. All right, I'm going to include this designer file as well. So in here, inside 2D view or UV view, we are selected the paint through, adjust our image on top of the disk, and the only thing it needs to done is to paint. All right, now, and why I'm not painting, because I didn't add a paint layer, so I can't paint on a folder. So let's go here, add a new layer, and as you can see, we did paint, but not in the layer. So the way of Mari works is it's going to paint an imaginary glass between you and your model. And as you can see, I painted, but I didn't paint. I paint on a glass, and I need to tell the Mari to actually project the paint. So how can I do that? I can just move and it's going to project for me. All right, now let me go back and where is it? Here, clear painting. Oh, I did move. So let me go back a bunch of times. Add a new layer. Maybe a little bit back. All right. Here, let's add new layer first. Let's go here and let me change the size again. Move the disk. All right. Now, if I paint again, as you can see, we are painting successfully. And also, because I didn't move, I can clear the painting buffer because it didn't actually project our painting. And if I go to where is it, the painting, and where is it, the projection, where is it, the auto-baked baked behavior inside projection, inside painting panel. Here we have option over the projection behavior. Right now it's set to auto-baked and clear. It's also have the clear only and manual. If I set that to manual, I need to hit B for bake each time I painting something, but I don't need that right now. So let it be the automatic for this asset. So let's paint. I'm painting with mouse because I'm lazy and my actual vacuum is a little bit out of reach. So let's paint this one like so. All right. Now I can hit B or just move the camera and it's going to be picked. So let's switch back to selection, go back to perspective and zoom a little bit. Really white. So let's switch to a shader by holding I, Principal BRDF shader, and see the result. Yeah, it's there, but it's really pops out. And also it's on the sides as well. So let's delete the layer, paint again, and this time, yeah, let's go to ortho, maybe UV. Right? Switch back to projection and it remembered. So let's change this size again. Move that like so. And yeah, I didn't add a paint. Add a paint layer. Oh, what? Why not? We switch back to ortho versus did paint. So I guess that's a bug. Let's make it smaller again. And let me switch to perspective. All right, that's a mess. So let me switch back to the original. All right, that was not bad. So let's add another paint layer. This time, switch to basic paint brush. But instead of painting something, let's paint out something. Up here in the mode, switch to clear, or you can just paint with maybe a black color or white color and subtract that from the layer below. Oh, that's not going to work with this layer. All right, the same layer. I'm just cleaning up the mess, just like so. And cleaning this from the side. All right, a little bit more. We might need to have a cleanup video for this kind of stuff. All right, now let me switch back to current channel bump. All right, now add a layer mask stack to the paint layer. Inside that, let's add a where is it? The adjustment level. Let me change the white point a little bit. To something like this. All right. Now we have some dents. All right. Now below this layer, let's add a procedural layer noise. Maybe a procedural pelling. Let me grab this one, put it on top, select the purlin, and make it smaller. Really small. And drop the opacity down a little bit. Something like this. Alright, now let's switch back to a shader. And yeah, that's good for now. Switch back to current channel bump. And let's add these two parts, these three parts to the, where is it, this, where is it, the gold, I guess, or other metallics, oh, golds, all right. Select the selection, let me save that first. And select this part, shift, and these three parts. Also this screw, and oh, let's not do that. Let's duplicate the gold by using this duplicate layer. All right, now remove the layer mask and layer mask, add mask from selection. All right, let's check that out. BRDF shader. And yeah, that's not bad. All right, now we did made some bumps. In the next part, I'm going to add some data inside metallic roughness. Let's see, and also the color after that. See you in the next part. All right, let's add some metal value to the mesh. And to do that, we need to go to metallic channel, just like that. And as always, delete the base metal. All right. Now hold I and show the current channel here. As you see, it's showing just checker because we don't have anything else. All right. Now, just like the bump channel, we need to add a base layer. So add a basic color. White means all the way non-metallic. Oh, sorry, all the way metallic. If I hold I and switch to a BRDF shader and also go to roughness, disable this roughness value. Inside metallic, let's see what we seen right now. All right. And roughness, it's, let me delete that. All right, let's change this value. Now it's black and a non-metallic. Now it's white and a metallic. So we have a baseline let's set that based on non-metallic. All right, now we have base metal. All right. Now we know for sure the metallic parts are this horn neck, this elbow, and this drive here. Also, this middle part and handle, some of these decorations, and I guess that's it. Yeah, those are the metallic parts. So, and let's add a basic color, white. Let's go to selection or S and a face selection here, and smart selection. Select this metallic parts by holding the shift key. Also this screws, this middle part, and down here decorations. All right. And you have some bolts or screws also over here. Right, I guess that's all. Maybe this part also. Let's add a folder, and not this type of folder. Right, a folder alone, and layer mask, add mask from selection. Now we have a mask for metallic parts. Now let's add a color, white. All right, now do you see the difference? The metallic parts, it's a little bit darker. All right. Now we have a mid metallic parts as well. So let me change this group name to see, metallic 1. Maybe change this one to metallic 0. Create another folder, call that folder metallic 0.5. Right. Now let's select this part with shift, and this part, this plastic, so it needs a little bit of reflection, and this wooden part, yeah, why not? All right, now layer mask, add a mask from selection. To this folder, let's add a base color. Select the color, go to gray, and select a mid value. Now we have 2 stages or 3 stages if you count this painting. All right, now this is our metallic for now. We need to go back to that and add a little bit of variation, a little bit of noise, but that's in cleanup video. All right, let's go to roughness value. This is a tricky one, and to do roughness properly, we need to add mask to each part of the mesh, just like we did in a bump. But we can copy and paste the layers inside the bump to the roughness channel as well. So let's select them all, copy, go to roughness, and didn't copy roughness, and hit paste. All right, as you can see, we added some roughness by adding just that folder. So let me disable all the layers and check the layers one by one. But first, let's go to current channel. All right. We are in a wood layer, and that contains this wooden box and feet. And that looks nice. Let me go and enable the gold 2. Where is it? Let me enable and disable. Yeah, here. Not bad. But to do some adjustment without adding any layer, you can go to Perlin noise inside gold 2. Just add a little bit of white value to B color, maybe mid value. And let's see. Yep. That's getting more rough and rougher. Maybe this value is good, 0.6 for now. Close that up, enable the gold 1, and same, let's go to maybe 0.7 for this one to have more variation in roughness value. So other metallic parts, yep, that's it. Let's open that up. Perlin, let's go and add a maybe 0.62 value. Oil also, same deal. And horn, let me see. Need to have a little bit of glassiness, so I'm gonna leave that. All right, disk. Enable the disk, and disk is looking really good. And remember, if you want to moderate the or control the whole situation, whole model, you can always add a basic color on top of everything. It's going to be white, and go to color value, go to gray, and change the color and make it multiply. Or not changing the color value, either the blending mode, leave it in white, just play with the opacity value up here. And this is for having control overall in the shape. So I'm gonna disable that for now. All right, let's hit save. And it's getting heavy and heavier. All right. Now let's go back to Principal VRDF shader. And that's looking a little bit too shiny. Maybe enable the overall control. Add a little bit more roughness and maybe 0.5 value. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Let me change the lighting scenario by going to Light, Environment, and maybe a exterior light, or maybe this one. This is not bad. All right, now let's go and disable the other lights. Now let me change the light to something else. No, that's good. All right, now let me enable some of the lights, or all the way. Yeah, maybe we need all of them. All right, now let's check up close. All right, this dense, this lines needs to be a little bit more out. So the paint layer, each time you enable and disable a layer, it's going to be calculate all the shader again, and that's why it's taking so long. Let me disable the perlin. No, just change the perlin. All right, now, as I remember right, we add a level. All right, that's looking good. All right, not too shabby. Now, let's see what else we have. All right, we are in roughness. Let's switch to a current channel. And maybe from ground up, let's add maybe a roughness value white to dark. So to do that, we need to use a node called I guess it's in the gradients. Gradients. Where is it? The distance facing a linear gradient UV. 2-point object space linear gradient. All right, now object space. I guess that's it. Let me change the position. Oh, it's inside the horn. Yeah, it's happening inside the horn. Yeah, here we have dark here and white up, but I need to change the direction. So first of all, let me change this to something like 0.5, or here minus 0.5 or 0.05 or something like that. And Z, let's change that to same 0.5, and you need to change the color, input color A and color B to change the direction, just like that. And let's go and change the blending mode to something like multiply, and drop the opacity a little bit down. As you can see, we have some variation to the we added some variation to the roughness value. As always, we can change them inside the in the video called cleanup. So in the next part, I'm going to add some color to the scene. So see you in next part. All right, guys, let's add some color, and let's go and start with the box. To do that, we need to go back to a bump and copy this folder arrangement one more time. So let's right click and copy, go to base color and delete this base, hit Ctrl V. All right, now it's going to assemble all the colors. All right, now let's disable the folders except the wood part. And let's disable this color as well. All right, inside the tiled texture, we had 3 inputs. Oh, not 3 inputs. It's not triplanar. All right, now we need to replace this image with the colored image. Let me double click it, the color. And let's see, it's RGB, Rec 709. Yeah, I guess the Rec 709 color space, it's a little bit nicer. So let's change that. Drag and drop the texture inside tile image input. And yeah, we have some textured adding to the wood. All right, that's looking good. All right, now for the base color, we need to do a little bit of extra work. So we need to have, or we need to use, where is it? Let me find it in other display here. Inside the Gramophone, we had some mesh maps, and yeah, that's it. The occlusion map, that's the map we want. Oh, let me open that up with the photo. All right, here we need to use this map inside the Mari. So you need to import that map. But if I import that map here, it's a little bit too much a hassle. So we need to make a new channel make a mask based on each one of these channels, for example, the curvature and occlusion. Then share that channel inside each mask. So let me show you the first method. So I'm gonna enable this color inside the mask. Remember, this color comes from the bump channel. I'm gonna disable or delete the cloud and right click, import into new layer, and go to mesh maps, find the occlusion. All right, this time, and let's import all patches. All right. Oh, it's a bit messy, so let me import that again. There's obviously something wrong, so import to new layer, ambient occlusion, and let me color space linear. And yeah, I guess that's not gonna work. So let me show the curvature, because we have some curvature, not that good of a curvature, but something. So inside the mask, let me go and add a geometry, not the ambient occlusion. This ambient occlusion is not a good idea to use because it's going to take a while to bake. So I'm gonna instead use the curvature. So that's almost instant. Let me grab this one, put it not up here, go down. All right, here. Let me expand that. We have some settings. Output, curvature, cavity, and convexity, and both. All right. Here, let me expand the curvature area, or maybe the edges. And as you can see, we have some curvatures going on here. And this curvature map drives our color on top of the wood. So if I go and change the color to something like red, maybe, or a little bit light, maybe light brown or something. All right. It's going to act as a little bit of something like variation carrier. All right, now let's go to mask stack and add a procedural cloud on top, and maybe change the base. Where is it? The blending mode to darken. And as you can see, this way we can break the curvature value a little bit. But obviously it's not that good. So let me show you the other way. Let's go to the channels. Create a channel by hitting this button, add channel. In this window, let's give it a name, maybe AO mask, maybe 248 by 248, and raw scalar, because we are using a black and white 10-bit depth image. So And base color or default color, let's add a black color. Hit OK. And a channel will be created for us here. Now we are in this channel. And we have a base black layer. So let me import into current layer. Import all patches. And it's not right. Why? Let me compare the UVs. Because I know I didn't change the UVs, so it's imported the this fins inside horn correctly. Let me go back to perspective. Here, let me find the problem. You know what? That's the same the dumb issue that Mari always had. So import new layer. Just clear this template, and as you can see, we have ambient occlusion, all the ambient occlusion combined together. So let's import them, and yeah, that was the problem. As you can see, our ambient occlusion sitting there correctly. All right, so this is the base, this is our AO, and yeah, let's go and add a let me see, add an adjustment on top of the AO, maybe level, make it a little bit darker in some places, something like this. All right, now let me zoom over here a little bit and add a procedural let me see, cloud. I guess the cloud is not a bad idea. All right, now let's drop the size a little bit and go to blending mode. Let's try darken, or maybe multiply or lighten. No. Let me go and change that to color dodge. Yeah, this is much better. So we break the edge of the ambient occlusion basically, and this issue that you're seeing right now here and here, this spread of black, I guess that's caused by level or not. Yeah, that's caused a little bit by level. So let me change the overall shape, and maybe let's go to cloud, make the black almost greenish, grayish, sorry. And no, that's not a problem. Let's change the white to something blackish. All right. Now that's not too bad for proving point. So let's go and open up the AO mask layer by clicking on this layer stack icon. This is AO mask, as you can see up here. Let me expand that in, and let's go to color. Let's go to mask here, and hold shift and select all the way to the AO. Now hold shift and drag and drop there on top of the mask. And as you can see, a new icon just added to the both layers, and that would be sharing icon. Now, if I go to, let me close this up. If I go to AO mask layer stack and disable or enable anything, maybe let me change something obvious. As you can see, with changing the color layer mask based on AO mask, because I'm editing the AO mask and changing setting inside here. All right, now let's go to level, change the level. Oh, level is not selected. And yeah, this way you can share the layer. Go back between two layers, or share the mask between two layers, and have control over the shape in one channel or one layer. So let me go and add the color right now. Yeah, here. All right, now we go to AO mask, change the mask, and I know for sure that each change that I make, it's going to affect the base color as well. So let me disable this cloud and also level. All right, now we'll change the level a little bit. Go to base color, and inside here, shade cloud, shade level. All right, I guess it didn't change because I add a little bit of too much Control and Z. So let's copy them again by holding Shift and put that here. All right. Now let's change this color. Delete the cloud. Let's break the connection, so I need to back and delete the cloud here. So let's go and here inside the color, let's add the adjustment of invert. All right, now here we have the occlusion set to act as some kind of dirt. Now let's go and this time import the curvature directly in layer. So let me add another color basic here, and add a mask stack. Inside the mask stack, let's import to a new layer. Delete this template, and this time curvature. Resize channel. Select the channel context shared layer. Use the channel. Please choose following. For the resize operation, shared layer. Continue. All right. Now we have something like this. Let me add a level on top. Expand this. And change that to be something like this. All right. Now if I change the color to something darker, we have a little bit of curvature going on at the edges. Something like that. All right. Now, let's leave the wood like so and continue adding colors to the other parts in the next part. Let me switch to BRDF shader. And the combined version, it's lacking a little bit of, yeah, I guess the metallic is the issue. We have some metallic going on here that I'm gonna fix that in next part. See you. Welcome back. Let's continue. And first of all, let's go to metallic and metallic 0.5. Let me disable that and see the difference. Maybe not 0.5. Let me go, yeah, maybe somewhere around here, 0.9. That's more accurate. So maybe, yeah, let's make it 0 almost. And also the roughness value is a little bit off, so we need to correct that later and review the whole mesh in cleanup video. So let's go back to base color and continue adding colors. So let's go to gold 2 here, and let's add a base color. Delete the pearly noise, and this color needs to be somewhere around here. And I guess, yeah, here the goal to folder, it sets to 0.5 in opacity. Let's make it 1 to have full range of opacity value. All right, now let's go change the color to something a little bit earthy looking, somewhere around here. All right, not too bad. Now let's add a, let me see, procedural and not cloud, maybe the oil on top. and maybe make it multiply and drop the opacity a little bit to add some variation to the color. Let me increase the opacity, something like this, and let's change the color as well. Okay, a little bit more opacity. Let me zoom out, see that in the big part. All right, not bad. We need to add a little bit of dirt in this hole there, but not for now. So let's see what else we have here. Gold 1. Here we have some steel going on. Hit 1. Let's keep the purlin and add a basic color of maybe something like this color 0.0 in gray value. Now put the purlin on top, add more scale, and drop the opacity just like that. All right. Now I made a mistake and put the wrong value here. Oh, let's see. Let me do the disk first. Enable the disk and this layer. What is this? Oh, there's a paint. So let me delete that. Keep the purlin for now. Add a basic color of black this time, almost black. Around here, let me see. Okay. Yeah, maybe that's not bad. And move the purlin up. Enable that. Add more scale. All right, now change the white color and black color. Obviously, we need to change the normal value here and add a little bit of variation to the disk. All right. Now, other metallic parts. Let me go and maybe disable this too first and add a base color. This time some color like maybe a bronzy type color. Yeah. All right, now let's move the oil on top, enable that, and change the white color to something like this. and the dark color, something like this. All right. And also put the purlin on top, enable the purlin, add a little bit more opacity, and change the scale. Let me zoom and change the scale. Also drop the opacity a little bit. All right. Now we have something like this. All right. We need to refine the masks. The masks are not that correct. So let's go to horn. Enable the horn. It's going to be a oil, as you can see here. Disable the horn, the oil, and let's add a base color of something like this, maybe. All right. Now let's add another color, something greenish. And to this layer, let's add a stack mask. Inside the stack mask, let's go and let me see what we have here. Let me hit tab and call for another gradient, object space, object distance, maybe this time. Remove that side pin. And let's see what happens. Let me switch to I and current channel to see just the color value. All right, let's see. We have something going on. And it's not that good. No, I don't like that. So let's go and hit tab. Gradient, space linear, object space linear, all right. Where is it? Oh, that's not good either. Object space. Oh, we did already use that. Gradient. Where is it? Camera, 2-point gradient, linear face, object distance gradient, camera distance. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we need to use the occlusion baked, or maybe the thickness baked. Let's see what happens. So This is acting a bit weird. Yeah, maybe something like this. All right, let's see that in shader view. Not bad, not good either. Let's see what we can do to add more randomness. Let's switch back to current channel and let's add another folder and select mode, select object tool and switch to patch mode. Select this patch and yeah, maybe this patch. All right, and right click, add layer mask from selection. All right, now let's add a basic color. Something like this maybe. Drag this color, this group, and put it inside the horn. Yeah. Let me select the color again. Now change the blending mode of the whole layer. Maybe the multiply. And now let's change the color. Also drop the opacity. Maybe 0.5. I and principal VRDF. All right, now we have a little bit of variation. So on top of everything, let's add another folder. Switch back to face mode smart and select this decorations. Right click and create a mask based on selection. All right. Now let's add a color to that as well. Something like this, maybe. Okay. All right. It needs to have a little bit of final touch and correcting some areas, such as this horn. It's a little bit too shiny. And yeah, that's not too bad. All right. See you in next part. Alright, let's continue adding color to the gramophone, and for this middle part I changed my mind and I wanted to add a label on top of everything. So let's go to disk here, and also we need to go to maybe ortho slash UV, and in here let me load up a image here. I have this image right here, and let's switch to first of all let's add a paint layer and switch to paint through or projection, and drag and drop the image. Now let's make the image a little bit bigger, add a rotation and a little bit of move, and yeah, something like this. Right, now let's hit paint, and why not, let me see. Oh, you know what, this layer mask is just only for the disk, so let's delete that and go on top, add another group. This time let's select only this part, add a mask from selection, and now a paintable layer. Switch back to projection, and let's try now. Oh, it's not working. Why not? Oh, look at the top and painting mode. So last time I set the painting mode to clear clear some paint, so it is stuck there. Let's switch to normal, and now that was the problem. So let's paint that down. All right, all the way. And yeah, I guess that's good enough. Let's hit B to actually bake the painting, and that's not bad. Add a little bit soul to the texture, so yeah, that's good. Oh, and for this part, I forgot to add this one to the which one is it? I don't know, maybe gold. So let me switch to perspective first. I'm gonna add that in cleanup video, so that doesn't matter right now. All right, right now we need to add a little bit of randomness, maybe reddish color to this drum. So let's add another folder. Select this drum, and maybe all of the screws or bolts. Mask from selection. And let's add a color. Somewhere around here, I guess. Okay. Oh, I didn't select this last part. So, all right. I can't think of a way to adding these selections to the existing. So I'm gonna quickly remove the mask and just select the parts again. Now add a mask from selection. All right, that solved the problem. And also see here, I'm gonna add a black color. Let me create a new folder, not this way. Create another folder and select this part. Layer mask from selection and let's add a black color to this area. Almost black, a rubbery thing here. All right, now we need to add a little bit of decoration inside this horn. So to do that, first of all, let me hit save and go to UV. But first of all, let me select a patch, switch to patch mode, select this patch, ortho UV, and let me find this patch. All right, and let's see, this patch is right. This patch, and also here, all the way to tile number 4. All right, ready to work with these 4 tiles. I'm gonna paint some kind of decoration color in this first tile, and because the tiles are duplicate or almost duplicate, you can just copy and paste patch to patch. So let's go and add a new folder. Then let me select this 4 patches. All right. Mask from selection and inside here, let's go and create a paintable layer. Focus on one of the patches. All right, now let's switch to basic paint. All right, and I need to have a brush. So you need to go to shelf. Let me put the shelf up here. Go to Mari and basic brushes. Maybe This brush is good. And let's change the color to something like bluish. Or let's see, you can change the color and paint, but you can't change the what is it, the size or shape of the painting after paint. So the best way is to create a color layer, base color layer, change the color to something you want. For example, something like this color. Then add a mask stack or just a mask, layer mask. Switch the color back to white. Or this time, let me go back, delete the base mask, base color mask, and this time let's right click and layer mask, hit layer mask, add mask, and hide all. All right, now we can paint with the white color to reveal the color inside the mask here. All right, let me zoom a little bit. And maybe, first of all, let me switch to vacuum. All right, now let's see. Fill this thing up. All the way down, like so. A little bit like this. And now that I painting on the buffer paints, I can go back and use the paint buffer eraser, go back and erase some of the paints because I didn't actually bake the paint on the surface. So let's go back to the paint. All right, now let's hit B. Now it's baked, so let's go to the other one and do the same thing. All the way down to the end. All right, now same deal. Let's go and use the eraser. Oh, I did selective blur, so hit E, select the eraser. All right, something like that. That's not that bad. Yeah, maybe. And hit B. All right, now we are baked. Hit P to go back to paint. this time, let's create another color. And as I said, now we can change the color whenever you want or I want. So let me change this color to something like this. Okay, and create another folder, another color. Sorry, this time let's make it really red. All right, and right click, layer mask, hide all. All right, switch back to Beckham. This time inside this shapes, switch to harder brush. Maybe make it a little bit smaller, and let me paint here something. Or maybe this time we go back, and all the way back to the mask. This time, let's add a reveal all mask or white mask, and switch the paint color, mask color to black by hitting X. Let's make it a little bit bigger. All right, something like this. Now, not that. All right, a little bit something like this. Now, I have another tool, and that would be the warp tool. I didn't bake the paint to the surface, so I can use this. So let's see what we have here. Warp. Select this part. You can add more points or less points, and move the actual paint. All right, that's a little bit better. Switch back to paint, and let me erase this part. And hit B to bake it. All right, let's move to the other one. And basically the same deal. Oh, it's a little bit too much. You need to be careful. It looks like a diamond shape, so let's go to warp, toggle grid, see. And let's see. Select this shape and push it down a little bit. All right, and a little bit up. Switch back to paint and hit B. All right, now we have two of them. So in the next part, I'm gonna copy them to the other patches and add a final touch. And yep, that's almost done. See you in the next part. Welcome back. The thing is, I really don't like this kind of stuff, and I prefer to project something on that. But this is an example that you see how you can project or change color based on mask. I'm gonna delete them right now, and let's see. Let me go to UV view for now, or maybe ortho versus UV here, and let's see. So I download the ornament picture and a vector and convert them, also customize them to a PNG file. So we have three options, three kind of flowery thing, decoration, and let's see what happens if I paint them. So let's go and select the, first of all, create a layer, projection type, and drag and drop the image. Let me see. Let me grab the image. Oh, we have a something here. Right. I accidentally paint something there, so let's see. Yeah, clear that out, then switch back to paint projection, and let me arrange this size a little bit. A little bit with this first flowery thing. So let me just position that and paint it out. I mean clear, so let's go to normal and carefully paint that out. Not too bad, but it's a little bit far off. So let's clear the buffer paint and move this one, or maybe make that, put that a little bit up, make it bigger. Let's test that again. All right, that's not bad. And let's hit E to erase this part. Yeah, that's good. So let's hit B to project, switch back to projection, and let's move that here. And carefully paint that out as well. All right, not too shabby. Hit B, sorry, to actually bake the texture. Let's see. All right, that's good. So let's copy and paste that into two other patches. So switch to patch mode selection, select the patch. Up here in patch menu, you can see quick paste and quick copy, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, universal keyboard. So let's hit Ctrl C, select another patch, hit Ctrl V, another patch, Ctrl V, all the way to patch 4. So now we have decoration in all patches. Let us something like this. All right, now let's disable and enable the layer to make sure the actually paint the layer. So in order to add a little bit of bump to the equation, we need to make a copy from this layer. We disable, close the shelf. Let's go to bump all the way on top. Let's hit Ctrl V and paste that, but we need to add a adjustment layer and sRGB to linear. Oh, that's not good. That was wrong. So let's go and select HSL. Saturation to the minimum level and luminosity a little bit, something like this. Or instead of that, let's add a, oh, let me hit Ctrl Z. We need HSL. After HSL, we need to have a level. All right. Something like this. Now let's drop the opacity of the whole group, maybe to 0.2 or less, 0.1. We actually have some bump out of this shapes. So let me hit save. And I switch to shader. Wait for shader to be compiled, and anytime now. It's thinking too much. Right? Let's add a little bit more. Oh, we have a bit bump here. All right. Right, not too shabby. So we are almost done in coloring the mesh, but one of two mesh parts are left behind, so we need to resolve that problem as well. So let's go back to coloring I and current channel. Maybe for this area, let's add a HS L, a little bit less saturation, and also you can switch the hue as well. All right, and this part I forgot to add this piece down here to this layer, so I'm gonna quickly delete the layer mask, remove the layer mask, and switch to face and also smart here, and shift click on this piece. Let me check. All right, now let's make a mask from selection. Now these two are black. All right, now the gold 2, I guess. Yeah. Let's remove that mask as well. All right, and because we added a mask on top of this layer, we don't need to actually change or make a new mask for it, because it's stacking on, those are stacking on top of this layer, and we can see the layer. So that's a relief. All right, and other, what's the deal with this layer? All right, now let's delete the mask for this layer as well. Remove mask. Select this piece and this piece, and also this. Mask from selection. And we need to move that up between these two layers. And it's not responding, so let's see what's the problem. Oh, it's multiplying, so switch back to normal. And change some colors. All right. Looking good. All right, let's hit save. Switch to shader. And we need to go back to metallic department or metallic channel. And here, metallic 1, metallic 0. Oh, problem is in roughness. Yeah, let's make this color layer a little bit more reveal, so maybe around here. And let's go to lights, environment, add a little bit more light. And I believe in color inside the wood, I made a little bit of boo-boo, so or maybe not. That's not too bad. Let's go back to roughness. Let's see the channel by itself. Horn, and yeah, it's not bad. Metallic. And let's switch back to shader, BRDF principle. All right. Let's change the lighting scenario. Maybe. Okay. And let's see. Let me go to base color on top of a wood. Let's add a HSL. Make it a little bit like so. Add a luminance. And inside the horn, the base horn here, that's not it. That's this. Let me see the horn. All right, that's it. So let's go on top of everything. Maybe, yeah, here. Let's add the adjustment layer, HSL, and maybe change the color hue, less saturated. Maybe this color is more suitable, so yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Up here for flowers, let me see which color is more. Maybe make them a little bit darker. It's not a bad idea. And yeah, that's it. This is our first texturing with the layer based, all the layer based. So in the next chapter, we're going to talk more about the painting and paint a statue-like asset. And after that, we're going to start working with the new, almost new, where is it? The node-based, can find it here, node-based graph. And you see how much easier work would be. All right. See you in next chapter.
Hey guys, Abraham here. I just wanted to remind you guys that we upload all of our courses to Skillshare. Skillshare is this amazing site where you can access a ton of different content to learn, improve, and grow as an artist. We have all of our courses available to watch and learn from right now in Skillshare. You can check the description down here, and Skillshare is offering 1 free month trial to their premium membership. With this membership, you're going to be able to access all of our courses and watch and learn all of the amazing things that we cover with all of the softwares. So, what are you waiting for? Check Skillshare down here below.